Hey queens, and welcome back to my channel. Back again, and I absolutely apologize for my absence. This time is going to be different, guys. I have been fighting tooth and nail to understand this camera. I have really struggled learning this whole YouTube game. It's not as simple as you guys think it is. I thought, oh, I'm gonna pay for this nice expensive camera, turn it on and it's gonna work just like theirs does, and that is just not how it works. It was definitely a learning curve, to say the least, but we made it here. I hope we'll know after this video. But yeah, as I was saying over on my Instagram, I kind of just want to get back on YouTube, and I thought, what better way to start than kind of show how I ended up where I am, of how my fitness journey even started, which kind of feeds into how I got here. Because I don't know how much you guys know, but this was my transformation. So I was extremely petite before, and I kind of went through a whole transition to gain weight, and I wanted to gain muscle in my legs and my hips, and that's what kind of got me here. So we're gonna rewind, we're gonna start from the start, and we're gonna talk through my story. And I hope that not only do you guys just take from this that content creators also started somewhere, but also to show you that whatever you're feeling, more than likely I have felt or do still feel. So you are not alone by any means. Just because you see your these content creators and you're like, oh my gosh, they have my dream body and whatever it may be, or they're so fit, guys, I promise you we did not start here. And I know how it feels to not feel 100% in your body, and if I can share this story with anyone so they can kind of relate, then I hope this helps. So where it all started, guys, was in college actually. So if you're not from the UK, I think when you're in college you're 16, 17-ish, and I had always been really fit growing up. I'd done gymnastics, I competed, I played a little bit of football, which is so random. We done cheerleading, we done everything. So I was always fit, but I had always been naturally really slim. I will try and put a few pictures here, guys. I do not have many pictures from when I was slim, because the truth is I absolutely hated photos being taken of me because I did not feel confident in how I looked whatsoever. Yeah, basically when I got to college, I had a really close group of friends, and everybody was hitting puberty. One of my closest friends at the time, she had a bigger chest, another one had a bum, and guys, when I would wear skinny jeans, no word of a lie, they were so baggy on me, and I used to absolutely hate it. There was one picture I literally remember off the top of my head, and I hope I can find it and put it in here, and I feel it was at that moment I was I've had an absolute enough. I didn't, at the time I had a boyfriend as well, guys, but I still just didn't feel confident. And I used to always say to him oh, don't look at me and don't do this. It was, I honestly would go out of the room to get changed, guys. It was that bad. I absolutely hated how I looked. And then I don't know what it was. I think I was on YouTube. I used to be a YouTube fiend, guys, all the time. And at the time, there were a few content creators who started coming about, talking about how they gained weight. And one of them was Annabelle Hayes. I absolutely love her content. And who else? The Booty King. Guys, I religiously started watching them. At the time, I still hadn't gone to the gym. I was religiously watching them, and I was this actually works. Girls can gain weight and not only gain fat, but gain muscle. So I was what am I gonna do? Sign me up. So I got a gym membership, and I started off going initially with my mum. She actually has always been fit, but her body type is very different to mine. So whereas I really struggled to gain weight, my mum, her weight kind of fluctuates up and down. So we started going to the gym together, but she has always preferred upper body, guys, and that's not my style. At the time I was legs. So I would go into the studio, I would use those little weights that they had in the studio and just repeat those over and over again. No hip thrust, guys. I would just literally do walking lunges over and over again. I would do squats over and over again. I did not leave that room. Or there was another little room in our gym which had the hip abduction. I would just do the hip abduction. And this is why I say to my clients, the girlies believe hip thrusts grow your glutes, and is that true? Yes, but hip thrusts are not all you need to grow your glutes, because at the time I saw amazing progress without doing one single hip thrust, and that was solely from lunges and squats, step ups, things like that I could do in such a small place. I didn't need really heavy weights. And once I started to see progress, as I say to my clients now, it becomes so addictive. So I was oh my gosh, I'm starting to see change. And the funniest thing about this, guys, is the before and after picture that I showed there before, Like, that before picture was once I started seeing progress. Like, when I tell you guys, I do not have any pictures from when I really started. Like, I honestly wish I did to show you guys, but that was once I started seeing progress, and that's why I took that picture, because I was so happy with my progress. After that, I kind of felt a bit lost, and I was like, oh, I don't know what to do. So I actually bought Anthony, who is actually the person who's Booty King. I bought his guide, which I still have to this day in my email. I should actually check and see when I bought this. Give me a second. So I bought this guide on the 11th of January 2020, which is absolutely mad, and I basically started following his plan. Obviously, he had certain things in there like single leg hip thrust, which kind of broadened my horizons a little bit more. I was still staying in the same small area because I was too afraid to go. I was using bands a lot. From that, I was like, do you know what, Nia? You need to branch out. Like, it's your time to shine. And that's when I started stepping foot into the free weights area. So for years, I would say at least, guys, for like a year and a half, 2 years, I never used a barbell. Like, I would use the fixed barbells, but I never loaded a barbell plate ever in my entire life. I simply used like the little baby ones, or I used dumbbells. Like, that was it. And like, when I say dumbbells, I meant dumbbells up to 10 kg. Like, I did not do anything. It was all about reps for me. Reps. Obviously, guys, this journey sounds like so simple, but it honestly wasn't. I would say there was times I was in like a really crappy place, and I didn't express it to anyone because, I don't know, I've always been that person that doesn't want to be a burden on others. So I wasn't like a complainer. I'm a more like, Nia, just do what you can to change it and just get on with it. But there was definitely times when I had absolutely no clue what I was doing. I felt stuck and I felt like I couldn't do anything. Or, as I said, guys, I never stepped foot in the free weights area. So that like clash of knowing like, oh, if I step foot in there, I'm gonna make amazing progress, but also the immense fear I felt of, one, embarrassment, because I was like, look at all these people, they know what they're doing, I ain't got a clue, like they're better than me, like I don't know what I'm doing, was tough. And I would say, I think for me it was just saying, do you know what, who am I doing this for? I'm not doing it for any of those people in there. I'm doing it for me. If I go in there and I embarrass myself, which actually I wouldn't let happen. Do you know why I wouldn't let it happen, guys? Because I religiously would go on YouTube. Like, I would religiously sit at home on YouTube and study like form. I would watch so many videos, like Chrissy Chella. I watched her over and over again. I watched Anthony show like form videos over and over again. I watched Annabelle Hayes over and over again. Like, until I felt like I had perfected the form. Obviously, it was a different story when I got into the gym. When you put it in practice, you can kind of see what you need to change. But that also came into play where I started recording videos, because videos are an amazing way to track if you're doing an exercise correctly, because sometimes you can't feel what you're doing, but when you look at it, you can be like, oh, actually, I know I meant to keep my back straight, and in that set my back wasn't straight. So it kind of really helped, and that's where TikTok came about. If you guys have seen my videos, are really old. I did not have the best form whatsoever. Like, no girl, it wasn't horrible, but it definitely needed some improvement. But the truth was, I felt confident doing it, and that was the most important thing. I know, like, the number one thing, or the number one question is, how do you stay motivated? And I stayed motivated by keeping track of that progress, whether it be through those videos and those photos, because it showed me that showing up made an actual difference. Like, because showing up for myself made me feel more confident. I now felt physically more confident, I felt mentally more confident, and I could be myself and not feel like I had to hide in this little shell just because I was too thin, or how, like, I felt like I was less than others because I didn't have boobs and I didn't have a bum, and things like that. So keeping those progress pictures was the best thing I ever done for myself. Like, I truly think the online fitness community like saved me, like, honestly, guys, to a degree, because I would not be in the place I am today, not work-wise, but also just confidence-wise, if it wasn't for those fitness content creators. Which is why, to me, sharing my story is so important, because everybody has come such a long way, and I want you guys to see and know that I have felt the exact same emotions that you have felt. And honestly, when I look back, I'm like, damn, like, I can't believe that once upon a time, like, I disliked myself so much. But I am so proud that I got up one day and was like, no, we're not going to have this anymore, and we're going to change it. And not only for the gym, guys, this became a whole lifestyle, because gaining weight, like, I know a lot of people discuss weight loss, but gaining weight is not easy. Eating more than you usually do eat, especially for someone who went from, guys, I wouldn't eat anything until like 1 p.m. in the afternoon. Like, it is a learning curve completely, and learning not to just eat crap, because at the end of the day, if you eat crap, you're going to put on fat and not muscle, is extremely tough. And I made that mistake at times, like just absolutely pigging out and just eating things that weren't good for me. My skin was ruined, just had a negative effect in turn. But looking at my progress as a whole lifestyle honestly was the biggest game changer for me. And I always tell all my clients, like, don't think of it as just gym or just food. Like, it is a whole complete lifestyle and you have to invest in it. And I think it's just about saying, do you know what, I want the best for myself and my health, and I want to feel confident mentally and physically, and this is what I need to do it. Future Nia here has come to apologize, because guys, the SD card didn't save all my footage. Like, my camera died. It was just this whole kerfuffle, shock horror. But I apologize. I'm here to close out the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed listening to my story, and that you guys can kind of finally see that all us content creators, or anybody who's like within the fitness or wellness space, has gone through so much more or similar things than you actually realize. My DMs are always open if you have any questions, or you just want someone to talk to, someone who you know can relate. I got you, babe. But I hope to see you in next week's video, so I will see you later.